Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee Overland. Huge shout out to Benson Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram for providing this midsize SUV for me today. Take a look at the website, that link is down in the description. This Cherokee is finished off in red hot pearl, and with options, MSRP is just over $47,000. This is powered by the 1.6 liter inline 4-cylinder turbo. It's paired to the hybrid motor system along with the CVT transmission and pumps out 210 horsepower, 221 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through the full-time four-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,300 pound SUV from 0 to 60 in around 8 seconds. It also has a fuel capacity of 13.7 gallons. You'll expect to see 39 miles per gallon in the city and 35 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 113 inches. Its overall length is 188.1. It has a width of 74.7, a height of 67.5, and its ground clearance comes in at 8 inches. Now, as we move on to the exterior styling for this redesign, you'll notice up front it still retains their traditional Jeep grille, along with a forward-facing camera to provide additional visibility. There's also cutouts in it as well and some dark gray trim accents. There's also gloss black that surrounds the upper section of it, and then on both sides there's a dark housing for the LEDs with a really unique design for the turn signal and the DRL. There's also fog lights tucked away in the lower section. Now, this also has a sensor for distance pacing right in the middle. There's more cutouts along with additional parking sensors too. And then some plastic for that main section of the lower bumper there, which works its way to the sides here. Now, you'll also notice there's an additional sensor on the side for the camera system, and then this has a two-tone design for these wheels. You'll also notice the Jeep logo with that iconic design for the wheel cap there. And then there's more plastic for the lower side skirt. Cherokee is also spelled out. And then for this model, the upper section is gloss black. So that pairs nicely with the mirrors, which have a camera and a turn signal. There's also the roof rack up top and then a sunroof too. And then you'll notice with this boxy design, it resembles the Grand Cherokee very nicely. And you'll notice the new design for the door handles there, just to give it more of that flush appearance. And then in back, a very vertical, flat design here, but I think it has a great look to it. You'll notice there's the third brake light, wiper blade is in the lower section, and then there's LEDs for the lighting, backup camera, and parking sensors. And with the tow hitch, this can tow around 3,500 pounds. So that is currently hidden at the moment behind this trim piece here. So that is nice to be able to tuck out of the way when needed. Now, this does have remote start, so if you lock it and double tap that button in the middle, it will start up, and then you just hold on it to shut the vehicle off as needed. Now, there's also a control on the key fob, or you can use this similar cutout in the lower section as the door handles, and there's the release to gain access to the cargo space. Now, for this midsize SUV, there's a lot of space behind the back seats. You can also flip up the floor where there's a full-size spare and some storage where you could place in some other items as needed. There's also a little cutout on the passenger side, a 12-volt, some tie downs too, even some additional hooks as well. And if you are tall enough, you could reach in and grab the release here in order to fold the seat down. And there is quite a lot of space for this SUV. So this is definitely very practical. And then you have your control on the left side here in order to close the lift gate. Now, as we work our way to the interior, you have the release up underneath, just like that lift gate, and this model is paired with the white interior. This also has Alpine audio, and then you'll notice the electronic release in order to exit, the grab handle, lock and unlock, and the window control. And then the seats do fold flat. So this gives you an ample amount of space to place in some larger items, of course. And then hopping in at 5'10", it's pretty spacious. You'll notice there's a storage pocket for your passenger there. You even get heated seats, vents, and auxiliaries down below. Very small bump in the middle too for your middle passenger. And at my height, I have about 2 inches or so of headroom. So for this smaller size, I can ride around town and definitely be very comfortable in the back. You could easily place car seats as well. So you do have those additional practicalities. Now, there's also cup holders in the armrest, and then the large cargo windows in the back. So you can easily see around this pillar right here. Now, up front, this door panel has memory seating adjustments up top. There's also the window controls, side mirror adjustments, and then storage and that release too. And then power operating front seats with a neat design for the insert. So that was the same as you saw for the rear seats, of course. And then once we hop in now, This has a really unique design for the steering wheel. It has a flat top and bottom look to it, along with the sides here. But let's start this up. So that control almost mimics the shape of the steering wheel. And we can bring this to life now, where this still retains controls on the back side of the steering wheel. So there's volume and tuning adjustments. And then on the left side, you'll notice there's some Bluetooth controls, and then the rest of the adjustments to go through the digital gauge cluster. So if I start scrolling left or right, you'll notice the screen in the upper section will appear, and depending on the page that you go on, you can also scroll up and down. So under vehicle information, there is quite a lot that you can monitor, just depending on what you like to have. There's also pitch and roll. You can look at some steering angles and where the power is being sent. There's also a screen setup too. So you can configure upper left, upper right, or you can restore it to what the factory sets it up as. So there's a few that you can go through here depending on what you would like to see at all times. You can even have nothing shown as well. You can scroll over to any messages. There's music. You have some trip information to monitor all of that. And then as you can tell, the left side and the right side is going to be fixed, so you can always view all of that information. Now on the right side, there's the cruise control settings along with distance pacing. And then to the left, there's the fuel cap release along with headlight adjustments, a dimmer switch for the gauges. There's the e-brake along with the hood release. And then you have one air vent with some trim accents underneath that. There's also more air vents in the middle, and they work their way to the passenger side there. And then for the infotainment system, it is angled slightly downwards, but it has a great size to it. You'll notice too, there's also controls on both sides for heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, there's mute, a volume knob. On the passenger side, there's scrolling. You can also shut this screen off if you would like, and then heated and ventilated seats for them. Now for the home screen here, you'll notice there's a split view. You can also add some widgets as needed. And then you can quickly get into media. There's also comfort, so you can look at your heated and ventilated seats. You can turn the climate on, of course, and then go through the temperatures, fan speed, where you'd like the air to go. You can also get into your phone when that is paired. And then under vehicle, you can look at a lot more. You can get into the camera system. There's also autonomy, so you can monitor some of the sensors, the driver's side. You can go through all of that information. There's also e-hybrid, so you can look at this information with your power flow as well. Pull up the dashboard for the off-road pages. So once you click on that, you have a lot more to get into. So if you happen to take this off the pavement, you can even get into your terrain settings here and even pull up the forward camera. You can look at the rear camera, of course. So while we're in the camera system, you have a lot of angles that you can pull up within that large screen. We can also click on the back arrow and then go into some more controls for your mirrors there, and then there's a lot of standard safety features along with the rest of these notifications and setups to configure this as needed. Now you can also get into apps and monitor all of these, of course, just depending on what you'd like to see. So there's a lot to get into. And then the last one on the left is navigation. So there is quite a lot that you can go through. Underneath that, you'll notice a separation for fan speed along with some defrosters where you'd like the air to go, and even temperatures too. So if you're not on that in the upper screen, you can easily get to them. Now this also has lane keeping assist. There's traction control, a low range gear, parallel parking, along with being able to turn on and off the parking sensors. There's also auxiliaries, lots of storage down below. 2 cup holders where an area you could place your phone. There's auto hold along with a downhill assist. And then by rotating this dial, we can put the vehicle into reverse, pull up that camera system, and then with it in drive, you can also push on the low range gear. So you'll notice that is engaged on the left side. You'll notice it too next to park there. So you can use that in some of those off-roading situations if needed. And then behind that, there's a few different driving modes. So there's sand and mud. There's also snow, auto, and sport. And you'll notice traction control will turn on and off with sport mode there. And then there's wireless charging along with plenty of storage in the armrest. There's also plenty in the glove box. This model also comes with the digital rear view mirror. So there's some settings on the right side that you can go through to adjust that when needed. There's a sunglass holder up top. There's also garage door buttons on the driver sun visor, and then adjustments for the sunshade and sunroof, dome lights too, and then a liftgate control as well. And then here's a look at visibility. Super easy to see. With this boxy design, it gives you large windows so you can easily see over both shoulders. Setting off behind the wheel now for the latest Cherokee. This is a really neat redesign for this midsize SUV. I haven't been around the Cherokee in quite some time, so it's nice to take a look at the latest design here. And there's been some significant changes to it, as you've been able to tell. It's a very nice vehicle overall, especially for its sizing too. So I think it's very usable. If you're not looking for a relatively big vehicle, you still sit up high. It gives you a good seating position here, and then just a ton of interior space. Now, 5'10" for up front, I currently have about 2 inches or so of headroom, and this is a height adjustable seat, so that's all the way down now, where I have a lot more. So again, for its interior size, you could be much taller than me and still fit comfortably in this. And for the latest updates here, it's very easy to go through all of the tech features. I like that for this larger screen, there's also the controls down below for climate. So it's really nice to see that broken up, which a lot of people do like to see. And the steering wheel also has a really neat feel to it. I like the design of it. It takes a little bit of time to get used to with the sides here, but I think it's a cool look for this model, and of course functional. Now it is a manual adjusting steering wheel, so you have that latch down below. And then as far as this being a hybrid, this is going to be something that has a good bit of power to it. So we'll put it into sport mode, and with a minor acceleration, it's not going to be the quickest, but that was up to speed and not even quarter throttle. So it's nice that it has a good bit of power for its sizing. And this is something that is going to, of course, give you really good MPG. So if you're looking for the practicalities of an SUV, but you need something that you're going to be racking the miles up on, this is going to be a great option to go with the MPG that I mentioned earlier. And for its sizing too, making a U-turn here is very easy. This also has parallel parking too, so if you need to use that function, you have that tech feature available. It's going to be very easy to park in the city if you're doing a lot of commuting that way. Again, it doesn't have that large size to make it very easy to daily drive. And still in sport mode from 20 miles an hour, here we go. So just a very minor acceleration and we're up to speed. And this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the latest Cherokee. Really nice outlook for your driver visibility here, good seating position as well, and just a comfortable place to be. All of the materials seem very nice. There's some plastic on the door panels here for vehicles across this price point. That is going to be expected. There's some soft touch materials on the dash here, just giving it a really nice look, along with the rest of the materials there. So overall, it seems like a very well built interior with the quality of the materials, and a very comfortable vehicle to drive. Now, since this is my first time checking it out, this is more first impressions of this vehicle, but I've been able to drive Jeeps in the past, and for the drive that I'm doing today, seems like a very nice vehicle to daily drive and something that will be incredibly comfortable for you and your passengers. Even on a road like this, not a lot of road noise or wind noise. I'm not going that fast, of course, but definitely seems like a great place to be, and one that you can drive every single day. It has a good bit of space to make it practical for an SUV, and if you had to put a trailer on the back, you could tow something relatively small, maybe put a bike rack on the back if you needed to, something like that. I'm not sure if you'd really want to put 3,500 pounds behind this, but you could at least put on some trailers for smaller equipment, especially if you're hauling something to go on some outdoor adventures. You have the ground clearance for it, that 4-wheel drive system to help aid you with that as well. So it's a good adventure SUV that has that smaller size to it, super practical to daily drive. We'll give it another small acceleration here as we get up to speed. What I like with the hybrid system as well is it is going to give this vehicle some better throttle input, smoother accelerations. While it doesn't add a ton of power and there's no EV settings, I think it's nice to have in the background. So it gives you that hybrid assistance, which is some nice technology that a lot of vehicles are starting to incorporate, and it just makes for a better drive. So while it does have a small displacement for the engine, the turbo, and the hybrid assistance kind of makes up for that in a sense, and just gives you a really nice vehicle. So it has some good get up and go to it with a combination of all of that. And so that is going to wrap it up for the 2026 Jeep Cherokee Overland. Once again, huge shout out to Benson Chrysler, Jeep Dodge and Ram for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.